Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
So you probably know that this wonderful modality known as hypnosis can help us out with so many things, like helping us to stop smoking, get over phobias, maybe have a fear of heights, fear of getting on a plane. That's been pretty well established in terms of how hypnosis can help us. But there's a lot of other things that you might not be aware of. For example, guilt is one of them. Also, forgiveness, as I understand, it can help you out with. It all comes down to these things that are blocking us from our past, and we can't move forward from them, can't live the lives we want to, the lives we deserve. We're going to talk about that today. She practices hypnosis, helps many with that, and she also harnesses the power of Chinese medicine through acupuncture and herbals. She's located in New York City. Our professional of the year, Dr. Kelly, is back with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Steve. How are you doing?
Very well, very well. So I want to share that I learned about 3 years ago that hypnosis can help with forgiveness. I was kind of surprised, and as we all understand, if you look a little bit deeper into moving your life forward, forgiving, not condoning what somebody may have done to you that was wrong, but forgiving can help move your life forward. I heard that hypnosis can help out with that, but guilt, that's one I never heard of. And you help somebody with that. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I did hypnosis with the patient. So she told me she want to leave her current job, but she feels so guilty to leave because she had been working over there for several years. She had a good relationship with her boss. But somehow she didn't get the promotion she thinks she deserved. But her group or her boss want her to train everybody like a leader, but they give her the excuse of whatever reason, but they don't want to give her a leader role, but they just want her to be the leader. So she said, I want to leave, but at the meantime, I feel so guilty to leave. So she kind of like stuck over there. Then I said, how about let's do a hypnosis to find out what's the root cause. So she agreed. So we did the hypnosis. During the hypnosis, in the hypnosis, usually we ask some questions like, what is the event? What first event you feel guilty? She said, oh, when I was almost born. So she said, oh, so her mom was outside with her dad, still working somewhere. Then her mom's water broke. They had to go to hospital. But when they got to the hospital, the doctor told them, you have to pay, like, for example, $200 first to get you in the hospital to start. She said, my dad had to run out to go to borrow money from his friends. My mom was just kind of like waiting there, cannot even give birth to me. She said, I feel so guilty. Oh my God. It's so hard for my parents to help me. They work so hard to earn money. They had to go to borrow money. So that guilt had been with her right before she was born.
Wow. So it started there and then continued because it seems like, Dr. Kelly, that they had hopes for her to go into a certain profession, and then she went down that road, but then decided, that's not for me, and now wants to change?
Actually, it's very funny. She said her parents actually, at least on the surface, she said her parents didn't really give her a lot of pressure. She was a good student since she went to school. She like top one or at least top three or something in the school. But somehow she had a boyfriend in the high school. So they broke up before, the big exam. So she didn't go to the ideal college. So she felt guilty again. She said, oh my God, I supposed to go to like top one university like Harvard. Now I make my parents feel disappointed. Like I feel so guilty. So she was like just staying at home for the whole summer instead of going to hang out, have fun with friends. So that guilt happened again after
Ooh.
the high school.
So I'm intrigued how she was able to go back to that first memory of feeling guilt. I mean, that we're talking way back, and that actually came up.
Yes, yes, actually, I was really surprised she can went to the subconscious mind very quickly because on the surface, she's a lovely girl. She's laughing all the time. She said, I always like to laugh just to make people happy. Like
Hmm.
even to her parents, she said, I'm the one always make my parents laugh. Like even like when we work around in the neighborhood, everybody like talk to me when I was little because I like to laugh. So I was just so lovely to make people happy.
Ah, okay. Now, why do you think that she was that just something she enjoyed to do, just to make people laugh and make them happy and feel good, or does that go back to something in her childhood where she feels that she needs to do that? And where I'm going with this is people pleasing, which is a big thing. We always feel that we got to make others happy. We have to provide value. We always want them to be there for us, see us that we're worthy. What was going on with her?
So she told me actually because the guilt has been in her right before she was born. So she always want to kind of like make her parents happy. That's why she like to laugh. She just she kind of like knows when she laugh, people just like her, make people happy. So she did that to please other people. It's not really she gonna be happy all the time. So that guilt like make her did a lot of things, she didn't even aware of. She just want to make people happy, make her parents happy, even like to be the top one student in the school all the time. That's why when she didn't go to the top one university, she felt so guilty. Like, oh my God, I disappointed my parents. They worked so hard to make money to send me to school. Now I disappointed them.
Hmm. Isn't it amazing how all of this stuff is in our minds, our subconscious? It's sitting there. Even a 2 year old, what you figure it's a baby, what can they remember? What are they interpreting? We are. Even at birth, we're feeling something and it's being stored in our minds. And I believe the amazing part about this is this stuff holds us back. Isn't it? Doesn't it like just surprise you how this all works? Especially when you dug deeper into hypnosis?
Yeah, that really surprised me because Liz, she said another thing happened during the hypnosis is she got lost when she couldn't even remember like maybe she was only like 2 or 3. So her I think her mom, might be her mom or her dad, their parents live like kind of in the countryside. So they took her back home when she was only 2 or 3. She can walk. She remembers she can walk. She said while her cousins like took her to another village, but somehow that cousin forgot about her in another village and came back home by herself. And she said that she don't even know what happened, but she was left in another village for whole night. And her parents had thought she was, kidnapped or something, took away by someone. But good enough, never really happened. So, but she was because of that, her parents so worried about her safety. Um, during the summer or winter break, her
Mm.
parents didn't allow her go to outside at all. They just lock her inside, and they have work, right? They have to go to work in the daytime. She would just stay at home, watch TV again, 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 again until parents came back home.
Wow. See, I'm thinking here what's going on is at 2 or 3 years old, if you're lost, you probably you're a little worried, like where's mom? But you're not freaking out. What probably impacted her the most was when her parents found her. They She picked up on their emotion, like, "Oh my God, where you been?" And then move forward. Now they're well, nope, we're locking you down. You're not going out. And she probably felt their emotion of like their angst of an anxiousness, worrying about her. And we remember that stuff. Can I share something that I experienced through hypnosis? This is before
Sure.
we met. And I had done a past life regression, which is a whole nother podcast, um, where some believe we've lived other lives. So I did it, and it was interesting. Um, I'm pretty much believing I was in another life, at least one. So fast forward about a year, and this is a few years ago. I was like to the practitioner, you know what? Let's do that again. But you know what? Take me back to a happy time. Let's focus on a happy past life. Okay, sure. Couldn't do it. Couldn't come up with a happy time. But
Mm,
what was coming up was when I was about 3 years old. And it's
mm,
not something I didn't see before. It was when my parents had gotten divorced. I was living in a different place. There was a lot of like negativity around, not just from the divorce, but just in general. Um, and we remember those things. So I remember getting a really bad sunburn, like really bad. Like I'm in an apartment riding on a little car, and I have like uh, blisters all over my arm, and it hurt. And my mother freaking out. So I remember that. Another time I was waving bye bye. I fell off a radiator, hit my head. My mom freaked out. Went next door to was a dentist living next door, and I still hear it in my head, like, my son is bleeding. My son, and the dentist, like, lady, I'm a dentist. I can't help you, and slam the door. It all worked out, no problem. But I remember a lot of negativity. What came up for me, Dr. Kelly, in that memory is that, and again, I've seen these images before. I remember this was my anger with my parents and relatives in that they would be arguing about my parents about divorce, and then my aunt would join in, and then my grandmother would join in, and just the negative time. And what came up for me, what blocked me from going back to a happy time, was the anger a couple of years ago. That basically it was the kid inside of me saying, "What is wrong with you people? You got kids in the house. Why are you being negative? Why are you yelling? What is going on?" That came up for me. I was like, yeah, I never even thought of that. Like that, and that was revealed during hypnosis, that I was holding on to, like, you love your parents, but like, what are you guys doing? What's going on here? But it's amazing. Like, I never even realized that, but I was holding on to that. I believe I let go of it now. But the little kid in us needs to be heard. And I believe the little kid inside of me just wanted to say, and couldn't say it at 3 years old, "What are you guys doing? You crazy?" And a lot of parents, we might, things come up. We think that the kids can't hear it, or you argue in front of them. But that came up, and I never knew I was holding that. It came out during hypnosis, and it's images that I've seen before. It's amazing what the mind can hold, right?
yeah. And again, people think, you know, oh, the baby or they're little kids, they don't understand. They do. Trust me, they do.
Mm,
And just finish this story. So this girl, because she was locked at home, because her parents worry about her safety,
mm,
she said no, even she's adult now. When she was not happy, she just stayed at home, just watch TV again and again, just exactly like when she went back to 5, 6 years old.
mm,
Do exactly the same thing. She wouldn't want to get out at all. She wouldn't want to talk to anyone. Just stay home by herself, watch TV again and again.
mm. What
Yeah.
what came from that during the hypnosis session? Did she realize that, and is she able to work through that?
Yes, we released that because she said, wow, oh my God, it's like repeating pattern. Like whatever happened when I was a child happened again. The guilt, right? The guilt to my parents, the guilt to my boss, you know, the guilt, even she even mentioned about her boyfriend, I mean previous boyfriend. Now she married with another guy. She said the boyfriend who broke up with her in high school, like she said when they broke up, she feel like so bad. She want to talk to this boy, but this boy didn't want to talk to her. She was just standing there next to him, saying nothing, just want him to talk to her.
Hmm.
That's what happened when they broke up. I think that's the main reason why she didn't go to the ideal college because they broke up. Um, but later on, she came to the United States to study. And that boy came to the United States later, the boy who broke up with her. She said, actually, because they have been broke up for, several years, they're like not so ideal, communication stuff anymore. She said there are a lot of up and down, especially her boyfriend had a hard time to find a job. She got depressed. Then the boyfriend will blame on her. She felt guilty again.
Hmm.
You see the repeating pattern, guilty,
Yes.
guilty, guilty. She said even she feels so bad because the boy blame on her, make her even depressed. But she wouldn't like feel right to break up with him because she feel guilty.
Mm.
So you see the guilty pattern repeating her parents, her boyfriend, her job. So all these pattern repeating. That's why I want to talk about this. I want to let the people know if in your life you have the repeating pattern, like guilty to this, guilty to that, guilty to whatever. If you have repeating pattern, of course, not only about the guilty, like angry or resentment or frustration, any repeating pattern happen again and again, you need to like
Mm.
have alarm, something going on. We need to do a hypnosis to release that.
Mm. Well, I give people credit even for realizing there's a pattern. Usually that comes up during hypnosis, but you're halfway there if you've already realized, wait, I remember doing that when I was younger and I'm doing it again, or it's holding me back. But as you said, you need to release it. That's the best word. You need to release that, as I did, and even with her. Now, I also wonder, we call it guilt. Do you think that there's also a little piece of shame in there too? And as I understand it, shame is the lowest energetic vibration. I always used to think that it was sadness, but shame apparently is lower than that. Do you think there was a piece of that in there along with the guilt?
I agree with you. Actually, I'm not only talking about her, everyone has some negative feelings about
Sure.
something like
Yeah.
guilt, shame, anger. Yes, I think because actually, interesting enough, you mentioned about shame because she said, so her husband is very lovely. I saw both of them, very lovely boy. And she mentioned about, so she is a person kind of like worry about things, like have anxiety. Although on the surface, she laugh. People think like, she's like a person don't worry about anything. But
Mm-hmm.
inside of her, she worry a lot, has a lot of anxiety. But her husband on the other side is really don't worry about anything. Just like everything is okay. Everything is just a process. That kind of chill person. That's why they got together and got married.
Mm.
But she did mention, she said, well, I work in a bank. Usually people who work in the bank kind of have good salary, right? That's just common sense. And people who have good salary working in the bank, usually they will find another part kind of like similar or even like make more money, something like that. But she said, but you know what? A lot of my friends said, um, kind of like my husband doesn't make that kind of money, like other people. So yeah, you're right. She did kind of like feel a little bit of shame, like, oh my God, my husband is not as good as other people's husband, make a lot of money, have a like very high social status, something
Mm,
like that.
mm. That's a whole other conversation. Okay, so he doesn't make a lot of money. However, he seems like he doesn't worry about things. And like you said, it's probably why they got together because he's the free spirit. She's the one that worries about things, has anxiety, and I'm not judging anything. There's good in one thing, there's good in the other thing, um, and maybe he's that way for reasons from his childhood where he doesn't care so much. Which is good good in a way, but then there's people that don't care, and they go down a negative road sometimes too. Like you never know, but it all gets revealed during hypnosis. What now? This is not scientific, but what percentage of the things that are holding us back are challenging us? Again, not scientific, but from 0 to 100%. What percentage do you think that might be?
I would say at least 90% or even higher because
Mm,
we do got hold back by a lot of negative thoughts, like you mentioned about shame, guilt, anger,
yeah.
fear, right? Limiting beliefs of, oh, I'm not good enough. I cannot make enough money. Most of people worry about, like, they worry about I cannot make enough money to buy a house. I cannot make enough money to go to a vacation. Like I even have patients worry about cannot even pay the $100 for acupuncture. I'm like, $100 is really not that much, to be honest. If you need it, you should really come in. But if you think, oh, I cannot even have $100 to treat myself, that's really limiting beliefs. Actually, we need to work on because you cannot even make up $100 just for your own health.
Mm-hmm.
That's really, I'm not to judge anyone here, right?
Yes.
Everybody have different story. So I'm not judging anyone, but if you cannot make $100 just for your own health, I think there are some limiting beliefs which we really need to work on because after we dig out the root cause of the limiting beliefs, I cannot make enough money, release it, you may find out it's very easy. You can make enough money. Just, I'm not talking about to be like super rich or something, just for your health, for
Yes.
your, a decent life.
This is life changing. $100. I don't think if you don't see the value in that, you're missing it. However, no judgment. However, so many of us feel that we can't make what we're worth, and we're always struggling. It may go back to your childhood. I think we might have talked about this before. I have a friend, and all of our parents have probably said. I probably said it to my kids. Hey, save your money. Come on. Money doesn't grow on trees. So that gets put into us. And then other things present later in life. And that may be holding us back, us thinking that we can't make a lot of money or we need to be very careful with our money. But that comes from a limiting belief, usually from the childhood. Beautiful thing is you can work with anybody anywhere virtually. You did it with me. I've revealed some things from my childhood connected to weight management. Kelly121 acupuncture.com is the starting point. Certainly, if it's acupuncture you're looking for, that's got to be in person in the city. But pretty much everything else you can help virtually. Dr. Kelly, thanks for being here today and sharing that. It's just amazing what's holding us back. It's from our childhood, and I appreciate it. Thank you again.
Thank you, Steve.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.